Hi, I'm Zaqhwan Zaidi. Now you're watching Asia Motorsports Hour.
Focus this week on a two-time arrc champion on the Idemitsu Asia Motorsports Hour. Ages 25, Malaysia's Zaqhwan Zaidi is already a serial winner, yet feels there's much more still to come.
The new year 2021 may be my luck. For sure, I need to keep my motivation high, also my physical.
No apologies for us revisiting again the most classic of classics from the 2014 Asian Road Racing Championship.
We're now into the final lap of a sensational race, a sensational season. Zaqhwan, he's just got to hope there's a mistake in front of him now because he's not close enough. Zamri goes on the inside of Yusuke Ito and Zaqhwan!
And Zaqhwan is joined by Steve Martin for the Idemitsu Inquisition as we look back on the first round of Malaysia's Cup 3 season. At 26 years of age, Malaysia's Zaqhwan Zaidi already has a stack of trophies to look back on, from a Cup Prix title in 2014, as well as a Malaysian Superbikes Championship in 2014 and possibly 2020. Zaqhwan's been at the forefront of the Malaysian road racing scene. When you add successful stints in the All Japan Championship, plus two dramatic Asian Road Racing 600 Supersport titles, in addition to a second and a third place finish, you can see Malaysia and Honda can boast quite some rider. But on the world stage in 3 seasons to date, the Selangor-based racer has had a bit less success. And that's where we'll start our interview with the Honda Asian Dream racer. And Zaqhwan, welcome along to Idemitsu Asian Motorsports Hour. Let's start off with that question. Are you young enough? Are you good enough?
Yeah.
Are you ambitious enough to make it onto the world stage?
Yeah, for me, for sure, I'm young, still young, 26. So, yeah, for me, I still have some, I still have confidence, and I want to be try to be a big stage. I want to go the big stage, and for sure I want to fight with the World Championship.
A lot depends on the support that you get, I suspect, and the support you've had from Honda throughout your career has been consistent. Are they able to back your ambitions?
Yeah, for sure, in my ambition, for sure I want to go in the MotoGP stage. But now Honda have big plan for me. So I have follow the flow. For sure, someday I will go there and I will try my best.
Let's take you a little bit back into your history, and Cup Prix was a great foundation for you. I mean, you won that triple title in 2014, but how important in developing you as a racer was racing in Cup Prix?
If I not in the Malaysian Cup Prix, maybe everybody don't know me. For sure, from beginning I start from Malaysian Cup Prix, and from that Syahrul usually take me, and also he also make me like to be in the rider professional. From there he take me, and then he say some motivation. Also he teach everything that he got from in the past in the World Championship. So everything he say, and I just listen to him, and until now until I get the championship in the Malaysian Cup Prix, and also Asia Road Racing, and then MSPK, I still not forget that he always say everything, and I just keep my motivation and then try to improve myself.
You've won the Asian Road Racing Championship Supersport 600 twice, but it's 2016 since your last title. Is there a concern that your development has stopped? Should we be worried about that?
No, actually no, because I still a competitive rider, for sure. I just keep my training and everything just same. But in this year, maybe of the COVID, maybe start from that. I need to think how to improve myself. Also, before coming in the June race, Asia Road Racing, I want to be the competitive rider. For sure, I want to take some title to make myself valuable.
I can almost see the glint in the eye. Listen, you mentioned COVID. You were saying you've hardly been on a bike for the best part of 6 months.
Yep.
How have you kept yourself fit? Because you're still looking sharp, but how have you kept yourself fit? And how much time will you need to get back into racing form?
For me, it's the same routine. I just keep my training, like jogging or cycling, everything I just do the same. But on the bike, I didn't ride anything because of the, here, maybe the COVID, maybe some place we cannot go. I try to do something else. Maybe I cannot ride the bike. Maybe I just training my physical to improve myself, because we have maybe a long time, maybe until now, maybe April, until coming April and then June. So we have 2 months to improve myself. So I just keep my motivation high and try to do something to improve.
So that leads to the obvious question. What's your target for 2020? 2021, as we are now.
Yeah.
2021.
We already missed 2020, right?
So what's your target? What's the ambition? Champion of Asia?
I want to champion in the Asia racing. The title for sure, because I missed in 2019 that I said better with Azlan and Brock Park. It was actually it was a good moment, but I missed some other race fresh and missed the point. But actually that time, okay, I need to keep my mind. Oh, I don't want to make some mistake anymore. So this time, the new year 2021, maybe my luck, or I try push hard. For sure, I need to keep my motivation high, also my physical. So, yeah, we will see that.
Now back onto the racing and onto the protagonist, Zaqhwan Zaidi. He can still win the champion. He's a former champion. He's only 21 years of age. I think we often forget that with Zaqhwan. It seems like he's been around for so long, but former champion in with a chance again. Zaqhwan Zaidi and Tomoyoshi Koyama, the two in the frame for this season on row 3 alongside Titiphong Wadakorn from Thailand. Nervous tension as the lights go off. A solid start from both Chalermpol and Deitche Kreisart. It's the people behind them we're really looking at though. And Zaqhwan has made good progress. Koyama is indeed tracking him move for move, but Zaqhwan has got himself... No, that's Takahashi currently in 5th place. So Zaqhwan is in 8th and Koyama is a place ahead of Zaqhwan Zaidi. So it's a good start for Tomoyoshi Koyama.
Yeah, you can see there Anthony West and trying to follow Deitche and the Chalermpol. I think Anthony West are capable of following the two guys in front of him. So.
Although Zaqhwan looks like he's got past now Koyama. Indeed, as they go round the sharp right into the home straight for the very first time, we will see that Zaqhwan Zaidi...
Oh, the two guys down behind them.
Is it Zaqhwan, is it Koyama? The answer's no, which is good news for Zaqhwan, good news for Koyama. But Zaqhwan is in 8th, Koyama is in 10th. Kreisart leads from Chalermpol, West and Anucha. Aslan Shah, decent start from him. This is the battle for Koyama, and that is Zaqhwan Zaidi just ahead of him. There's Zaqhwan, there's Koyama. Form. It's almost like he's ignoring every single other bike on the track and is just locked on Koyama.
Yeah, you just have to lock on to Zaqhwan, that's it. You don't need to win the race. Whatever Zaqhwan goes, he will just follow and just see he's right in front of him, and he will definitely win the championship.
We are watching what's going on at the front of the track here. This is Kreisart, Chalermpol and Aslan Shah. We've got very much an eye on the scoreboard and the clock, which tells us where Zaqhwan Zaidi is and his immediate rival Koyama. There they are, just coming through at the back of your screen. West has a look behind him to see how close Takahashi is. And just as they come over the brow of the hill, there the two we're interested in, Zaqhwan and Koyama.
I think Koyama is having a problem with the bike. I think the bike stopped or something, I'm not sure. I need to check with.
Right, Zaqhwan Zaidi has pulled away, and Koyama.
Nowhere.
No way to see.
Well, he's dropping back there.
Oh, that is harder.
That's harder.
That's harder there.
There goes the championship hopes of Koyama. He had engine problems yesterday.
Yeah, there's Koyama.
And he is out. Talk to us about the engine problems and the concerns before the race for Koyama.
Yeah, in the warm-up this morning, you know, the oil just, the smoke, thick smoke come out from the bike, and I think that's the same thing happened to his machine now.
So the championship ends head in hands time in the Koyama camp. They cannot believe it. They thought they had solved the problems. Now Zaqhwan Zaidi has got a long run for home. But unless there's a disastrous outcome for Zaqhwan Zaidi, he will be crowned champion. So these three are ending the season very strongly. But none of these three will end the season as champion, because that is going to go to Zaqhwan Zaidi. But for Dacia Chrysart, his moment in the sun is now. He had it in 2009 as champion. He's still got the quality.
Yeah, he's still got the quality, and you can see the way he is so confident on this track. Then there he goes, winning the race.
Dacia Chrysart wins the Supersport 600, but this is the champion. Zaqhwan Zaidi goes through and takes the championship by a single point. Indeed, he's got himself up to 7th. It's better than a point. It's absolute luxury for Zaqhwan Zaidi. 7th he's finished. Emotion in the pit, and congratulations to Malaysia's Zaqhwan Zaidi.
I don't think that I win the title actually, because the battle is, you know, from the round 1 until the last final race, always better with Koyama. And then when he out the race, I just think, yeah, this is my lucky day, because the moment that I was fighting until the finish line, that is the most good moment for me.
Coming up after the Idemitsu choir, we get opinion and comment about the opening round of Malaysia's long-running Cup Prix as it starts its 27th season.
Yeah, welcome back to the Idemitsu Asia Motorsports Hour. We've got what we call the Idemitsu Inquest every week. I'm delighted to say that once again we're joined by two superstars of the road racing world. Steve Martin, based in Melbourne, is a former world endurance champion and Asia Road Racing Championship commentator. And Zaqhwan Zaidi, of course, who has twice won the ARRC, as we explained early on. So let's get on to the main topics. And Steve, firstly, welcome back. What was your racing highlight of the week just gone?
Well, I guess my racing highlights, of course, there was the Cup Prix, which we'll talk about, but the Asia Talent Cup got underway, the testing for the Asia Talent Cup, and really happy to say that Sharil was in the top 3 there, the Malaysian doing a good job. So that was my highlight.
The new Cup Prix season got underway. The two main categories are the 150 and the 125cc. Steve, starting with you first. was a young chap called Mazakia, who's not so young anymore. He's been on the scene for 10 years, and after 10 years of trying, he's won his first race. You've got to admire the persistence of the chap.
Well, Mazakia and myself have something in common, and that is I won the 89 Australian Production Championship, the 99 Superbike Championship, the 2009 World Championship in World Endurance. Every 10 years I won something, which is good, but not that good. But the same with Muzika. It's been 10 years between drinks for him. So really good to see him. Another one for the old guys. Well done. It was great to see him get up there in what was a really exciting weekend's racing.
Certainly was. He's not that old, only 29, Zaqhwan, but you know Muzika of old. Tell me, what's his secret?
Actually, he also my good friend, and in the past time, I said to him when I was 2014 a champion, and then he come to me, and I said to him, I really want to see him on the podium in the first, and now he proved. Almost 10 years he waiting. Also he's patient. Also he's always motivated to fight with the with the fast rider. I very like him, and he very good rider.
But he won this race convincingly at the end. His tactics, you're saying, from turn 9 were just about perfect.
He make a good job actually. In the last lap, he made good strategy in the second corner. Turn 9 in Sepang, uphill, he made the first position, and everybody was fighting in the back, and he pulled away. I think in my mind, I said, okay, he will win. And then until the finish line, I said, yes, he win. Finally, he win.
There was also a 125cc race that took place at the Sepang South Circuit, and in that 125cc, Steve, there was a young lady called Siti Norafiza Muhammad who got herself 5th place. We're seeing more and more women taking on the guys and getting close to competing at the top levels.
Well, more than getting close to competing at the top levels, especially if you look at some of the riders we've seen through the ARRC Championship, like McLarda as an example. McLarda, when she was racing the 250s, was just a sensational rider, capable of winning the championship. In fact, she was that fast that she probably crashed a little bit too much, and that scuppered her chances, a few injuries. But it's really good to see these the females not only making up the numbers, but right now they're also very competitive.
As for you, Zaqhwan, a familiar name up at the top, Chappie Crossley, picking up the victory. But the Hondas, the defending champion, Helmi Asman, he struggled. What's the story behind that?
You see, in the race, everybody was fighting in the first corner, like almost 14 riders in the corner. I think it was crazy, but it's good because we know the all bike is same. Only the rider with a good strategy, and then he make some time. For sure he can win.
Okay, moving on to a series that are about to get underway. The All Japan Championship starts in 2 weeks' time. And then Steve, Australia is up and running. Japan's about to get up and running. We're talking about Malaysian Championship starting, Asia Road Racing coming in June. We are back racing, and it's getting really competitive. That Japan series is one of the best in the world, certainly one of the best in the region.
Yeah, I mean, it's for years and years. I mean, I was lucky enough back in 1990 to race in the All Japan series for Yoshimura Suzuki. And I thought after going well in Australia that heading over there it'd be a piece of cake, but I was completely wrong because it's just such a tough championship when you're, you know, all the factories are there, the Japanese factories, and everybody is so strong, and the tracks are so particular as well. You know, some of the best tracks in the world. Suzuka, to win that championship, you know, is just so tough to be able to compete in it. And Zaqhwan will know this. It's boy, you have to bring your A game, and it's good to see some of the guys, you know, from last year coming out again. You know, Koda Nazane, who won the championship last year, the JSB 1000, making his you know, re-emergence back into the championship. There's a lot of names there that are going to be making their way back into it, and I'm really happy that all of these motorsports are starting to reopen around the world.
It's a 7-race season. They're starting in Mategi. They go to Suzuka twice, but Mategi has challenges of its own as well. It's a difficult surface.
Yeah, I really like actually. That's a great. Before in the first time was difficult, right? I don't like actually. But after many time I go and then testing and then come to race, and I understand how to ride, and yeah, this track was, I think, special track for me. Also, you know, in GSP, all the rider is fast than me, and Japan rider, you know, actually he hometown, for sure he's fast. But I also like good motivation, and then, oh, I know this rider, I try to fight and then try to keep improving, and with the fast rider. But for the experience, is actually very good to come there.
Zaqhwan had 2 seasons racing All Japan. Steve, as he said, raced as well. Listen, so the racing is starting, Cup Prix underway, All Japan ready. Steve, what are you looking ahead towards in terms of racing this week?
Well, of course, we're heading into MotoGP race week, which is exciting for all of us. We get to watch on TV. Unfortunately, we won't be able to go to Qatar, where the first race and second race will be. So we're all going to have a lot of fun. But for the riders and for the teams, for them, it's pretty much the start of living in a bubble for the next foreseeable future. They'll be taking so many precautions for the COVID that is rampaging the world at the moment. They'll have to be monitored. They won't be able to go out wherever they like. They'll be kept inside a ring, and also they'll be vaccinated as well to make sure that all of the people inside the MotoGP paddock are safe for the whole year.
How does it affect the mindset of a rider when you've got this kind of bubble that you've got to operate in?
We need some time with the bubble system. For sure, we need to take maybe 40 days to wait until the race. But for sure, rider need to keep training, maybe inside the hotel or maybe somewhere to do, and to compete with the before go to race. We need some motivation or something to make prepare. Oh, okay.
Okay, so difficulties there may well be, but we have got racing, we have got future racers coming up. You are watching the Idemitsu Inquest. Join us after the break. After a choral interlude, we take a closer look into the Australian Superbike's rich history, and we relive Asia Road Racing Championships classic of classics through the eyes of the victor.
We're taking you round the world in this part of the Idematsu Asia Motorsports Hour. In a while, a true racing classic from Doha. But first, a little segue to continue our exploration of the Australian road racing scene. The Australian Superbike Championship had its first airing in 1980. Competition designed to make road racing more affordable, as the bikes were production manufactured out of the box. Since that first season, the ASBK has been the springboard for some major names. The legendary Troy Corser won the title in 1993, as did world endurance riders Pete Goddard and Steve Martin. To help us learn a little bit more about the championship, we're joined by Peter Doyle, CEO of Motorcycling Australia. Peter, welcome along to the Idematsu Motorsports Hour. Firstly, can I ask you about the Superbike Championship, the Aussie ASBK, and the variety of manufacturers that you've had winning up until last year? In the previous 7 years, 6 different manufacturers had won it. Is that an indication of the strength of the manufacturing side in Australia?
Our regulations are a little bit not quite as high a spec as, say, World Superbike, and not quite as low a spec as World Superstock. So it's pretty much an affordable class, not a lot of tuning options there, and that tends to keep most of the bikes fairly close. Even when the exotic bikes come out of the crate, you know, the latest V4 Panigale is, well, it might be 3 times the price. It hasn't got 3 times the performance of an R1. So look, I think the regulations have helped keep that quite tight, quite competitive, and you know, there's a little bit of input from all the major manufacturers in Australia at the moment.
It's certainly a very competitive championship, but a question I've got is that Australia once created world champion after world champion after world champion. They haven't in the last decade or so. Is there a reason for this?
Yeah, look, I have my own opinion on that one. Back in the 90s to 2000, we were essentially, you won the Australian Superbike Championship, you were headed overseas into Europe somewhere. Grand Prix, World Superbike, AMA Superbike, BSB. At that time though, we were running identical rules to the World Championship events. So they were very relative. When the World Championship events came to Australia, the Australians were very competitive, winning races against all the guys that come in who were the permanent World Championship riders. So look, as far as it was a direct comparison, they went away from that and went back to more standard bikes from an affordability point of view. But at that time also our technical side dropped dramatically in Australia due to the fact that we were going back to more standard bikes. So at that time, Warren Willing, who's a famous name here, was running the Yamaha team. Nick Smith, who was a former MotoGP mechanic, was running Honda. Peter Goddard was running the Suzuki team. I was running the Kawasaki team. And we all had very good connections with Japan, and we all had very good equipment here in Australia. That all disappeared when we went back to more production-based bikes.
Great answer. If I can bring you back towards the ASBK though, and I'm interested, it's a long day of racing. You've got a whole range of categories, not only the superbikes and the super sports, but down to the 300s, etc. Is developing the next generation the real reason for the championship?
Yes, for sure. Look, we've got a 300, a 600, and of course the superbike class. They are all capacity-wise very similar to the FIM, just on lower spec bikes. And we also have the 150 Oceania Junior Cup feeder class. So we're now getting them into road racing on the really small bikes quite a bit younger. Many years ago in Australia, you couldn't ride in the major class until you were 18. That's now 16, but you can now get on a road racing track at 7 or 8 years old. So it's changed substantially over the years, and there's now a clear pathway through Australia, and obviously with offshoots into the Asia Road Race Championship, Asia Talent Cup, Red Bull Rookies. So that's just been created in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I was going to say that the relationship between the ASBK and Asia Road Racing, it's not as strong as I imagined it would be. Obviously, you've just described that that will improve, but is there a reason why Asia has been avoided by Australian riders?
Yeah, there's been a few come over to Asia, and then, you know, when I first come and met Ron a number of years ago at Buriram, you know, was that idea of how do we get Australia and Asia closer together, and the Asia Championship came down to the bend, and so we just started to build on that relationship, and then of course we got hit by COVID, and that knocked us out in the second year, and you know, you know, the way it's looking is going to play a bit of havoc with us this year as well. So it's unfortunately that we just got that going, momentum going, and COVID will hit us. So you know, back to square one, but you know, we'll work on rebuilding that.
Well, fingers crossed. We've got a round at the bend later on in the season in the Asia Road Racing Championship. Leads me to ask you about the number of facilities in Australia. The Bend is the most recent circuit, but to this outside observer, it doesn't look like there's many or enough international quality circuits in Australia. Again, is that something that you're addressing, or would you agree with the statement in the first place?
Absolutely agree with the statement. You know, in Australia, we've really got 3 levels of racetrack. And look, in total, we only have about 14 facilities around the whole country. 2 would be described as international level, with a 3rd knocking on the door. And then we have probably another 6 to 7, like Winton, they're rural or regional racetracks of a national level, but not of international quality. And then there's a number of smaller tracks that are really club level that you couldn't take the big bikes to. So we're really struggling there for a number of international quality tracks. However, there are about 4 new tracks designed and on the drawing board across the country in Queensland, in New South Wales, in Victoria, and in Western Australia. So hopefully, if they come to fruition, you know, that we should be able to leave a legacy of a number of new racetracks coming into onto the scene.
Onto the second row of the grid, and Zaqhwan. He does have a chance. Zaqhwan is within 7 points of Fujiwara. 15 laps. Asian Road Racing Championship. It comes to a thrilling finale. Supersport 600cc. And we are go. Inagaki is off to a good start, as is Ito. Ito gets off to a great start, and Fujiwara tries to come round the outside and is blocked off, but it's Ito who leads into the first corner, and that's exactly the start that Yuki Ito wanted. Fujiwara is in 6th place. Looking at Zaqhwan and Zamri, they haven't made the best of starts, but it's Yuki Ito who's off the blocks extra quick.
Again, Ito made a good start in front of Inagaki, but Zamri is still there. And where is Fujiwara? Is currently in 6th place, only 3 points between Ito and Fujiwara.
Zaqhwan's gone on the inside. Zaqhwan's made his move. He can't let Ito get too far away. So Zaqhwan has made his mark, and Zamri Barber is looking on Inagaki. But Ito at the moment is very aware of that threat, and Ito is leading ahead of Zaqhwan. Zamri is making his move, but just can't get down on the inside, and these 4 are getting away from the rest.
Zaqhwan just set again the fastest time, 2:04.778 seconds in that lap. So he is going faster, Zaqhwan Zaidi.
Well, in these cold conditions, that's a remarkable time, but Ito, again, his work rate is absolutely phenomenal. He's looking really fit and really focused.
This is a real battle in front for 1st and 2nd in this race, and also 1st and 2nd overall, because we have Fujiwara still stuck in 7th place right now. So it's between Yuki Ito and Zaqhwan Zaidi, and Zamri Baba there lurking behind Inagaki. Black flag, so Inagaki is out of the race. He has to go out from the race right now, and because of the black flag, he did not go to the right route.
So confirmation that he's now playing a real spoiler, and it's not very professional for him to carry on like that, but he's still a part of the race, and what he's doing is Zaqhwan Zaidi has got to focus on Inagaki and has got to be really careful of Yuki Ito behind him. But But Zamri is just poised, ready in currently 4th place. Ito goes on the inside. Ito into 2nd place, effectively 1st, but 2nd in the race. Zaqhwan, maybe distracted by Inagaki, is now in 2nd. We have got 4.5 laps to go, and the drama is going right until the end.
Oh, that's
Inagaki waves him through.
For Inagaki, I have to say, that's not very sporting indeed. He's waiting for Yuki Ito to get past Zaqhwan, then letting Ito pass him. Well, I have to say that I know that, but it's not that Inagaki does not.
So Yuki Ito leads, takes a sharp right, and Zamri again all over him. Zaqhwan, he's just got to hope there's a mistake in front of him now because he's not close enough. Zamri goes on the inside of Yuki Ito, and Zaqhwan takes the lead ahead of Zamri Baba, and Yuki Ito is blocked off by Zamri Baba, and Zaqhwan Zaidi takes the lead, and Yuki Ito is in 3rd, and Zamri Baba is blocking him off, and he's showing his man the way home.
Well, I'm not sure whether he can do that, but he's blocking Yuki Ito for Zaqhwan Zaidi. He has all his right now, and a few more corners to go for Zaqhwan to win the race and to win the title.
So Zaqhwan leads, Zamri 2nd, almost playing the soldier protector as Yuki Ito is in 3rd. Zaqhwan, he must focus, the youngster. Now Yuki Ito taken on the inside by Zamri Baba. UK goes on the inside of Zamri Baba. Can Zamri hold on? Here's Zaqhwan Zaidi leading the way in the sharp right-hander. Zamri still protecting his countryman, still protecting his teammate as Yuki Ito tries to find a way past.
A few more corners to go, and it is Zaqhwan's title right now to lose with Zamri in 2nd place, and Yuki Ito is pushing very hard. He has to pass Zamri right now because we are coming to the final corner of the race. This is last turn, and there you go. That is Zaqhwan Zaidi going to the finishing line. Zaqhwan 1st, it's Zamri 2nd, and Yuki Ito 3rd.
The Supersports champion is Zaqhwan Zaidi. UK Ito furious.
For me, it was best feeling because that time I with Zamri was good sparring. For sure, in the race, we have a big battle with Yuki in the last lap, and I say maybe, in the last lap I have made some little bit gap from behind, and I saw Zamri and Yuki was better, but I didn't expect that Zamri was fighting until almost got outside. But that one is my chance to get the title. That moment I was thinking just focus on the straight. I tried to win until the finish line. I said, finally.
And that's our show. Join us next week for more racing action on the Idemitsu Asia Motorsports Hour.